And we're live. Welcome to the Team Tank podcast. We are recapping a critical, potentially devastating loss tonight. Had they wound up winning that game against Memphis, I actually couldn't watch most of it. But seeing as the members of this podcast love to take credit for wins and losses, it's my turn this time. Okay. I tweeted it. I tweeted at the account that Gary was tweeting from. Props to Gary on being 3-0 this season. I tweeted at him, "What the hell is going on, Gary?" And I got a reply. And from that point on, Memphis went on their run, came from behind, beat the Lakers. That would have been terrible. Orlando wound up losing their game, so the Lakers have a nice little gap there in between there. Like I said, Gary, Harrison, and Ryan are all joining us today. I'm going to lean on you guys to talk about the game, seeing as I could only watch from afar. Gary, go ahead.
Well, the obvious takeaway was Mr. Clarkson again. Played great. First half, I think. Well, he established a career high, I think, in the first half.
It was in the third.
Was it? Okay, it was early in the third then.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, to end up with 25 points, he shot 12 of 18 from the field, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, only 2 turnovers. I mean, you can't ask for anything more than what he's producing right now. I mean, he's just been fantastic and making strides. He'll have, the occasional game where he kind of regresses a little bit, but that's to be expected with a rookie. So, but yeah, he was fantastic against a good defensive team, and just extremely encouraged with him.
How was he being successful? Was he driving to the basket? Was he hitting from outside? What was going on?
It was just a combination of everything, really. I mean, he was working the mid-range, getting to the basket, using his floater. I think he had a couple dunks. He had a breakaway dunk. But, yeah, it was just mixing it up. I think he only hit 1 3, but, 1 for 3 from the outside. But yeah, he's just mixing it up and just picking and choosing his spots pretty well and just played a really good game.
Ryan, what you said you watched, I guess, the majority of the game. You also wanted to take credit for the win tonight. What did you think?
Yeah, I was the reason they lost, so everyone can thank me, or maybe a little, maybe like 3 minutes. And Byron took out Ed Davis and Jeremy Lin for Wayne Ellington and Carlos Boozer, and then like the next couple plays, like Boozer got burned on like a back cut, or like Zebo just like overpowered him, and then obviously he kept Wes Johnson in, who was pretty bad. And to me, and Ed Davis was dominating on both ends. I mean, he had 10 points on 5 of 5 shooting, 2 blocks, 5 rebounds, and to me that like signaled that Byron wanted to tank.
I mean, that crucial plus-minus stat, though, isn't helping Ed Davis very much. He was -2 on the game. Like, why was he playing?
Well, that tells you when Clarkson's was a negative 11 plus or minus, and he was easily the best player. I mean, you could argue he was the best player on the whole court today, besides maybe Zach Randolph. But
yeah, I was being sarcastic. I love how Mitch Kupchak patted himself for the Lakers on the back for creating plus-minus. Bill Burke is 87 years old, bro. Like you can't take credit for being at the forefront of analytics when the guy who came up with it is older than my grandpa.
And it's such a terrible stat too.
It really is. It really is.
It occasionally like has some like you can tell something from it, but overall it's just like if that's what you're trying to use as an argument for a player being good, then like you're just kind of dumb.
It's just weird because I remember the other night, Oklahoma City and Philadelphia. It was an overtime game. All of OKC's starters were like minus like double digits, I think. They were all negative, but then the bench was all positive by a wide margin. And it was kind of the starters that were the ones that like brought them back and got the fourth quarter lead and then won it in overtime. So it's just a weird stat.
Well, for those of you who have missed Tarek Black, he got some minutes tonight. Harrison, were you able to watch much of the game?
Yeah, I watched the whole game.
What did you think of Tarek Black's? He only played, 9 minutes or so? Yeah, 9 minutes.
It was like in the second quarter, and it just screamed like like pity homecoming minutes. Like Byron didn't want to deal with getting asked by reporters afterwards, like why Black didn't play when he came home to Memphis. Like his whole family was there with signs in the crowd. And like he played okay while he was in there, like pretty much up to like what we can expect of him at this point. But it just didn't even seem like Byron wanted to play him, which like I guess is pretty obvious when you see that he didn't even get in the second half. Like I don't remember him coming in the second half. I think it was all in the second quarter. But like he was fine. He was he showed us what he showed us before. He had good activity. It's like I think he had a dunk at least. He was all right.
Yeah, he made his only shot. He was 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 blocks in 9 minutes. So
he was productive.
Team high +10 too.
So remember all that stuff we were talking about, plus minus. It's a great stat. It's a good stuff. I would say I'm looking here at Clarkson's stats, man. Holy cow, he dominated.
Yeah, he was. I mean, really, like Ryan said, he was the best player on the floor. Then in the second half, they put Tony Allen on him, which I tweeted this out. Was like that's like the ultimate gesture of respect. It's like when pick one of the best perimeter defenders in the league on you, and everybody kind of made a big deal like that. Tony Allen shut him down and all this, but Clarkson just didn't see the ball
at all. Like the Lakers didn't want to. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say they didn't even look for him. There was that play where they were down 4 in like the last minute, and they had the side out of bounds, and Clarkson flashed to the ball, and he's wide open, and Lynn just didn't pass to him, and then called a timeout. Like it made no sense.
He's icing him out.
Apparently.
Well, then like Lynn was running the offense like most of the fourth quarter, and they basically all he would do is he would dribble till there's about like 10 seconds, and then try to like create, and then obviously like Conley was on him, and he wasn't going to get by Conley, and then like they settled for like a Jordan Hill jump shot or like some terrible look.
Wayne Ellington was running a pretty good amount of it too, which I thought was like really weird, especially given how good Clarkson was playing. That they weren't even like seeing what he could do against Tony Allen. Like give him a pick and like do some do something try and get him the ball. Like I didn't think that there's not a whole lot of point in like watching Ellington run the offense down the stretch, which like he did for like a few possessions.
Well, it's not his strength either.
Yeah, it was just it was weird. That fourth quarter was really weird.
Well, this whole trend of Byron just flat out not trusting Clarkson in the fourth quarter is just maddening, man. Like he's the only guy that you want to build with this year, right? That's like if Minnesota, they're playing for nothing else right now, they're like, you know what, Wiggins? I appreciate, the future you might have, but Chase Budinger is sitting right here, and we really need to get him minutes. That's just not smart, It's just,
Chase Budinger, he's awesome. He went to Arizona.
Sure. What's that?
Budinger went to Arizona. He's awesome. He should play. He should start every game.
The whole the most aggravating thing about that mentality is it's treating it like the fourth quarter isn't basketball anymore. Like he was like lights out for the first 3 quarters, but now all of a sudden because it's the fourth quarter, like magic, he's going to make poor decisions that are going to lose the game. You're basically saying that like the first 36 minutes of the game are meaningless and like nobody tries, and like that the last like 12 minutes, like of course he's not going to be able to do anything because the Grizzlies are going to actually try and defend him or something.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's like you want him to learn, and you learn by repetition and experience. So I don't know. I don't know what's going through Byron's mind 95% of the time. So
yeah, it's so frustrating because he's obviously I wouldn't say, well, no, to this season he is the cornerstone, right? I mean, it seems crazy to say that. It does. I mean, this is a second-round pick that they bought from Washington would be the cornerstone of anything. But in terms of this season, just this year, he's the number one priority. And there's not, like, think about the opportunities he's missing out on. In close games, he's not playing, or for a while there he wasn't playing fourth quarters. He is now. Tonight, like, I can't think of anything better that he could learn from than going up against Tony Allen in clutch situations. Of course he's going to take his bumps. That's the point, Byron. Come on, buddy. Do you, do you guys have anything else to add? Anything? What did you guys think of a future Laker, Marc Gasol? How did he look like? How did he look out there?
They didn't go to him enough.
He looked really passive.
Yeah, he was weirdly passive.
Yeah. It was like there was a possession that stood out to me. He got a rebound, I think, an offensive rebound, and he was on the block, and he had Ryan Kelly on him, and instead of just like backing him down and scoring easily on him, he found an open shooter, but it was like all he had to do was just back him down 2 dribbles, and he was going to have an easy layup.
Those Gasol brothers are too nice. I think he just felt bad for Ryan Kelly. He was like, I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings. Like,
he's promoting good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
That reminds me of when the Bulls the other day were doing hack a DeAndre, and like they had Pow do it, and like he just hugged him.
Not even wrapped him. He gave him like an actual hug.
Yeah.
Like Pow is the best.
I could see Pow like, look, I'm sorry, and then he like daps him, like, hey, what's up, buddy? Like, I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah.
I felt like he like warned DeAndre, like, hey, I'm gonna foul you, okay? Like, is that okay with you?
Can we still be friends afterwards? I think that you're a fantastic player and you're having a great season and showing great perseverance by continuing to play despite Blake Griffin's injury and really stepping up in his absence.
Hashtag see red.
Yeah.
No, I do remember though. Powell would sometimes drive me kind of crazy on the block. He would get some kind of mismatch and like pass the ball out. So it might be a Gasol thing. I don't know. Hot take. Hashtag hot take. Do you guys have anything else to add? We have a question here that I think will stir up some good conversation.
Yeah. So Andrew Jones, who I followed him for a little while, he's followed me. He's kind of a rare breed. He's a Titans-Lakers fan, so he's automatically...
Those guys are the worst.
He's automatically at the top of the list. So
nobody remembers the Titans.
Everybody remembers.
Oh, that's okay. That's
the whole
terrible.
movie. But no, he asked this question. So he was saying, like, if Towns and Okafor are gone, and so Moutier and Russell are on the board, do you take either one of them, or do you skip them and just let Clarkson run the point and try and fill a different position?
Well, for me, it's best player available. I don't think the Lakers are at a point right now where they can like choose. I mean, if there were 2 guys like similar, like if you had Stanley Johnson and like Russell at the same level, and it's like, oh, you have Clarkson, so maybe you'll go with the small forward. Then maybe you would go with the guy that might be a little bit worse. But I think like the top 4 in this case is just a lot better than 5 and 6. So for me, I would just go best player available.
Harrison?
Yeah, I'm with Ryan on that one. I still think, like, I like Clarkson as much as anyone, his potential, but number one, he can be a combo guard. He has good size for a point guard. He could play the 2, especially with how the league's trending with going smaller. And his like good overall length, like he has good like arm length, all that. He can play both guard positions, so I don't really see why you couldn't draft one of those guys and play them with him. And I also what's his ceiling realistically? Like, it's not worth passing on someone who could be your franchise point guard potentially for 10 years. Like, just because he had like a nice year, like racking up like a giant usage rate for a garbage team. Like, he's shown potential, but I just don't think that it's worth passing on one of those guys because of it.
Well, I would say I do agree that there is some looter and a riot kind of element to Clarkson, but he's still playing efficiently, right? Like, you aren't seeing a bunch of turnovers. LeBron had 9 turnovers tonight. Random.
A lot lately.
Yeah, and with Clarkson, he's playing smart. He's playing, he's letting the game come to him, and to his credit, he's succeeding under those situations. But I totally agree. There's like the idea of building around the 46th overall pick, or that he would somehow preclude you from taking the best player available to you is pretty crazy. I'd love to see a D'Angelo Russell Jordan Clarkson backcourt. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think the Lakers are just in a position. They just need talent. You have to take the best player available. You can't worry too much about needs. I guess, I mean, like, obviously, like, if you had a top 5 pick, it'd be kind of, I guess, questionable to draft a power forward since you drafted one last year, but there's really none that are in that range. You know, they're either centers, point guards, or like Stanley Johnson out on the wing or something like that. So you could just pick the best player available and you fill a need because Moutier and Russell are both pretty big for point guards. Russell's 6'5", I think Moutier's 6'5" as well, and so I mean they're kind of interchangeable because their size gives them some versatility and that gives you options. So you're not really like phasing Clarkson out by drafting one of them.
All right, and at the end of the day, it's just properly use your assets. Like you just don't miss on a pick, and I don't think you can miss. I don't think you can possibly miss with D'Angelo Russell, Stanley Johnson, or even Moutier.
Yeah, I've become impressed with Moutier.
By the way, I tweeted this earlier today, but the pun possibilities with Moutier are kind of intriguing.
Get out.
Oh God!
Just stop. Quit while you're ahead.
It's just imagine like he picks up a technical.
I don't want to imagine.
Emmanuel looks a little Moutier today, right? Like, or if you want to go the Canadian route, like if you want to go the Canadian route, you say Emmanuel looks moody, eh?
Oh my God.
So when I revise my mock draft in a couple days, I'm gonna put Moutier down at like 7 or 8, so we can't take him.
Oh man. All right. So I apologize. I just can't help myself. To the next fun little segment we're gonna have here. We introduced it the other day. We had Ryan read his whatever number we had. I don't know if it was supposed to be 5, but it turned into like 7 or 8 because they're just Lakers Facebook is phenomenal. The 4 of us actually came up with our Facebook comments. So go ahead, introduce the segment, Ryan.
All right, so it's basically you go on any. It doesn't have to be Lakers Facebook, but any of the Lakers sites or NBA sites, and you just find the most like ridiculous, like hilarious comments about the Lakers. So we all gathered the ones that we thought were the best. So you guys want to start off? I'll have Harrison start it off.
Okay, are we supposed to, I wasn't on the podcast last time, are we supposed to like say they're at, or we aren't going to throw them under the bus like that, right?
First name, but yeah, I wouldn't reveal their whole name. Just
I accidentally did it last time, so I'm probably going to like get
Okay.
some death threats for that, but
If you haven't gotten them yet, Ryan, I think you're okay.
So this one's from a guy named Guillermo, and he says, I trust that Jordan Clarkson will be just as good or better than Russell Westbrook in 2 years. # patience.
Patience.
That's the part. That's what I'm telling you. Before we went on the show, when I barked out with laughter just randomly, it was because I read that hashtag. Like,
again, to take people behind on our side of the cameras, we were just kind of chatting before we came on here, and we were having some completely unrelated conversation, and then randomly we just get a you just kind of like it's like a random like cluck from Harrison. Turns out he had to really abstain, or he had to really keep his # patience to keep all that in. That was great.
all right, Gary, what do you got?
I don't think we're going to be able to top that one, but okay. So I wrote a game preview for today's game, and I was looking at some of the comments because I figured we could use them today. And this is on Facebook. Matthew says it's not our Matt. So.
That probably is.
Yeah, Matthew.
And you'll have to bear with me. This is like a paragraph without any punctuation. So
oh God.
So it says, Go Lakers, beat the Grizzlies. Let's get win number 17. I care about us winning. Screw a draft pick. I want to win. I want my Lakers to win no matter what. Laker for life. Let's surprise people. Purple, yellow. We're the Lakers. We don't tank. We will never do that. We're going into every game to win. I love Byron Scott. He doesn't get fans who do that. He is going in every game to win the game. We're the Lakers. We're all about winning.
Not one period or comma, huh?
There's like a period, but there's no like space after it, so I think he accidentally put that.
I'll say this though, all that Lakers and winning and all that, you know what? That dude knows what it means to be a Laker.
Punctuation doesn't win championships.
That's right.
All right, I guess it's my turn. I don't know how I'm going to follow up that poorly punctuated period. All right, so I'm on Lakers Facebook because Facebook is where you go to feel worse about humanity. Her first name is Tassian, I'm guessing. She misspelled her own first name. We'll just go ahead and say that. That season has been horrible. We definitely need to win games. It seems like there's no Lakers without Kobe. What the fuck? Go Lakers. I don't know. I don't hear a single coherent thought there.
I'll throw in a bonus comment. All right, this is from Al. Kobe is a superstar. Randall is a potential superstar. Clarkson is a superstar. Nick Young is a superstar. Wynn is a superstar. And you guys are still looking for an additional superstar. And when they play like it's an all-star game and lose, you blame. Too much of something is bad enough. Lakers only need the position that they lack someone with work ethic. Oh, and by the way, Justin on Twitter, after Gary read that, he said in all caps, "What are you reading?"
I found another one here. You guys go ahead. Try to decipher this. Real Laker fans should never want the team to lose. Even if it's true they are not good and winning is meaningless, support them the right way. This is ridiculous. What?
It's like they basically admit that they're wrong, but they're just like, oh, whatever, do it anyway.
I understand I sound like a dumbass right now, but go Lakers. So, all right, we the best comments for those of you who want to smile or roll your eyes even further back than after my terrible puns. Head over to Laker Twitter or head over to Laker Facebook after a near victory or a near loss, however you want to look at it, and see what's going on over there. This guy summed it up pretty well. In all caps, I can't stop laughing. That works. That works. Awkward segue from terrible comments. We're going to talk about one of the Lakers owners making one of her own. Jeannie Buss went on all over kinds of media, saying dropping all kinds of ultimatums. Not unlike a frustrated woman who hasn't gotten her an engagement ring by the time she wanted it. She says if there are no changes in the next 3 years, big changes will be made. So basically she's threatening that Jim Buss, the man in this relationship, might be sleeping on the couch if not that way. Like, let's not be creepy.
Oh, jeez, Anthony.
But no, I'm sick of the ultimatums. What do you guys think? I mean, it seems insanely impatient that she says if they aren't better in 3 years, like 3 years, hashtag patience.
For me, it's I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, the Jim Buss timeline was what, like 3 or 4 years or something, and then he said that at the beginning of this year, and then or like during last season, and then like Jeannie said like during this season that like that first year was this year, even though it was supposed to be last year. So it's like I feel like they're already like trying to push it back. And it's like I think we're gonna be better anyway in like 2 to 3 or like like 2 years, 2 to 3 years. So it's like I I don't think there's going to be any major changes, and I don't really understand, like, in either way, like, for them, I don't know, I don't understand what they mean by big changes. That just means like firing Byron Scott, which after next season is pretty much inevitable, I think. Or does that mean getting rid of Jim or just firing Mitch or something like that?
Well, we lost Gary, it looks like.
He just tweeted that his internet is tanking.
Oh, all right. Well,
Quality tanking.
that's fine. That's fine. Although one would argue, like, Gary on the podcast makes us worse, so, like, the tanking would be him, like, hanging around more. Harrison, what do you think? Do you ever see a scenario where Mitch Kupchak is fired?
It's hard to see that. Like, this whole, like, we're going to be better in 3 years, like, we don't try and tank, all this rhetoric, like, it's just her job. She's like the vice president of marketing or business operations, or I forget exactly what her specific title is, but, like, her job is to sell tickets, sell merchandise, all that stuff. So she, like, of course she wants to get the fans like, rah, rah, we're going to be better, we're the Lakers, we don't accept, like, being this bad. But, like, I think she's smart enough to understand that, like, it's kind of a necessary evil right now in her heart of hearts. Like, she just can't come out and say that, because then it's like, it's almost like a middle finger to the people that paid, like, thousands of dollars for season tickets. It's like, well, we didn't even try and put a winning floor on the team for you guys. Like, she's never going to admit that, and, like, as far as, like, firing Mitch Kupchak, that's, like, it's hard to see just because I think that they probably have become so close with him. Like, especially Jim, who I think worked his way up under Kupchak and probably sees him as, like, a mentor maybe, unless it's, like, one of those things where, like, he doesn't like him, or he thinks, like, because of that Kupchak doesn't want to listen to him or something like that. But also, Mitch is getting older. Who's to say how much longer he even wants to do this? So that could be a big change that comes, like, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Gary, you can take over after this, but I would say there's a difference between saying that the Lakers are tanking now versus had she come out from the beginning of the season and said that they were going to tank. Right? Like, if she would have come out from the beginning and said, you know what, guys, I'm sorry, like, we just aren't going to be very good. And then said, for those of you who did spend thousands of dollars on the thing, like, at least now she can say, look, circumstances haven't played out very well. Kobe's hurt. Nash wasn't able to get his stuff together. At least now, like, she could start changing her tone a little bit. Gary, do you think eventually people might start tuning her out?
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. I think some people kind of do that already, but, I mean, like, from my perspective, it's like, what do you kind of expect her to say, though? Like, you can't come out, especially for the Lakers, because there's such high expectations every year. You can't come out in the beginning of the year and be like, oh, we're not going to be very good this year. You always kind of have to say that you believe in your team, even though you don't. Or if you don't, I guess I should say. It's like now you can say that because it's obvious and the proof is right there. But no, I mean, like, so something like that though, like that quote, it's basically what I expected her to say. It wasn't surprising, and it didn't. I don't know. I just didn't really think much of it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I understand her job is to sell tickets, and it's hard to sell tickets when you openly admit that the team sucks. I guess to liven the mood up a little bit, I found another comment on Facebook that I think we all could benefit from. This is from Melissa. I'm not going to say her last name. Hi all, I am Melissa, and I want to share something with you guys. Having born in a poor family, I always dreamt of living a luxurious life. My dream come true when I found heart emoji, smiley emoji, richcupids.com, heart emoji, smiley emoji. Thanks to this site, that today I am married to a wealthy businessman from Texas. Mark Cuban, maybe? I recommend this site to every person. I say that now. We can laugh at the actual paragraph. It has 93 likes.
It's all spam.
That's incredible.
If we're doing another comment, I found one that's like, it's kind of funny. It's a little creepy, but somebody tweeted at Jeremy Lin tonight. This girl, her name's I don't think this is her real name, so I'm just gonna say it. It's Ashley Lin, and it's like her name on Twitter. And she tweeted at him like, "Are you all right, my boy? Just let it go. Don't be too hard on yourself. Put down the exhaustion and rest well, my dearest."
Oh boy.
Wow.
I mean, I send stuff like that to Steve Novak all the time.
Gary, after long podcasts, would Gary Nation ever send you stuff like that?
Oh, all the
God.
time. I don't even want to talk about it.
Gary's fans left him for cupcakes. True story. And look it
Yeah.
up. I think that Twitter handle's at GaryNation24. I think. Let me see. Oh no, they died. Never mind. It's at Uncle Tom's Lakers. Yeah, it's a Twitter account about cupcakes now. Which I mean, I'd be a fan of cupcakes.
Gary the cupcakes.
Well, it's here's another time for a great segue because we're getting really good at this. We aren't, but our own Matt Vazin has been spamming the interwebs with his Candy Sweet 16. We'll call it, and you know what, Matt? We're sick of it. We don't want to hear about it anymore. And just to rub in the fact that you're not here, we're going to come up with a Candy starting five. So, I'll go ahead. We'll start with Harrison. Harrison, who's our point guard for the Candy starting five?
Should I throw everything off again and just say that I don't eat candy too?
Oh my god.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, I was like,
probably my favorite candy is like, I'm gonna say peanut butter Snickers, so I'm gonna go with that for the point guard. I think it's a good it's a good team leader, good candy to build around.
It's versatile. It's versatile.
It's got peanut butter, it's got chocolate, it's got nuts. Like it gets everybody involved.
Oh my god.
Gary, who do you have as our shooting guard?
Our shooting guard, I have Sour Patch Kids. Just because of the volume.
Volume score.
Volume score. There's so many.
The Nick Young of candies.
And it's, yeah, you know, like the whole, first they're sour, then they're sweet. So it's like, so they'll jack up a bunch of shots, and then they'll admit it after the game.
Oh my god. All right, so what am I doing? Small forward?
You know what? I think I have an idea of which candy you might say here, and I know it's a very efficient candy, I believe. So we'll go ahead. We'll say this is the center of the team.
Oh, well, that just changed my train of thought. I was thinking small forward.
Sorry. Well, you can go ahead. Go small forward. I'll do center.
Okay. I think you got to have a legend at small forward, like Larry Legend, but Candy Legend. So I'm going with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. You know,
all right.
They could play multiple positions, so they could play center too.
Yeah, it's like LeBron.
Small forward.
All 5 positions.
All right. You know what? We have to have, you know, at the power forward, you got to get something with some oomph. You know, the kind of candy that like you feel afterward, like, oh man, that was really heavy. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go with Milk Duds at the power forward. Bring the weight.
Milk Duds.
Well, I got a great center actually.
All right, go for it. Ryan's going twice.
This is unconventional. I mean, this candy's been overlooked throughout all the years. The center would be Peeps, and you know, like those little marshmallows.
Peeps are too soft to play basketball.
No,
Yeah.
that's just a stereotype. First of all, second of all, you put those things.
It's just a narrative.
Yeah.
Sweet stale Peeps off the clearance rack or something? Like, what do you mean they're not soft? They're marshmallows.
No, you gotta let me finish. You put those things in the microwave, and they like quadruple in size
Oh my
and protect any rim. I mean, They could do everything, and then if you keep aggravating them, they blow up. So it's like it's a quality rim protector, and then if another team's players keeps messing with the peeps, they'll blow up and just have a great game against the other team.
I can't believe I'm running in peeps as a center.
Ryan, be honest. Like, is that a class at Arizona? Like blowing up peeps in the microwave?
No, we put them on the sidewalk because it's so hot, and then like they naturally just expand that way. But I mean, there is a class for that. There's a class for that. There's a class for like Kit Kat splitting, where you have to make sure you split them perfectly.
All right, so I can't believe peeps is their center.
I just don't like your guys' stereotypes about them. Like,
it is very narrative driven. I can't.
Yeah, you need to look into the advanced stats. That's just sick.
All right, so to recap, we have Peanut Butter Snickers as our point guard for the versatility. That's kind of like a Magic Johnson type of point guard that can rebound and dish out all that stuff. I just compared Magic to a Peanut Butter Snickers. I apologize. That would still be the best twit he ever came up with, but still.
That's your 2014-2015 Lakers for you.
we have wow, I misspelled Sour Patch. But at the shooting guard we have the Sour Patch Kids, which, you know, because they're young, there's room to grow, right, Gary?
Of course. Tons of upside there.
Nice. Ryan brought it with Reese's at the small forward. That's a very efficient small forward. You only get, you know, even in the big ones, you get like 4 Reese's cups. So you got to make sure you use those properly. If you do not eat Reese's without putting them into the refrigerator, you're doing it wrong. You suck at eating candy. I'm just gonna go.
Like any chocolate is better in the refrigerator. That's a vet move.
Yeah. Yeah, just take it from the old wise guy. Like, you have to know these things. I said Milk Duds at the power forward because after you eat them, like, your jaw's even tired. They're so tough. And then, Ryan, you say it. I'm not going to say it. That's not nice to say.
Excuse me?
No, go for it. No, I totally agree.
Anyway, center is peeps, like I said before. It's like Pau Gasol. You know, they get the stereotype that they're soft, but you know, put them in the microwave for a few minutes, and then they become the toughest player. Protect any rim. I mean, like they get quadruple in size.
Guys, on our next podcast, we're just gonna microwave peeps in the background.
I'll show you a video of it. I do it every Tuesday. I mean, I don't do it every.
In Ryan's defense, one of the greatest bad guys of all time was the Mr. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from the old Ghostbusters. So marshmallows are scary. They can be scary every so often. That'll just about do it for us tonight. That was, you know, I apologize for the peep stuff. Ryan had, you know, some weed peeps, I'm thinking. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna call it a night here. Great come from behind victory for the Lakers. What's the winning streak at now? At 4 games in a row.
Yep.
4-game winning streak. Orlando lost tonight.
Won.
No, I know. Come on, Ryan, keep up.
I just feel like you're confusing everybody.
Yeah, I know, because like someone's gonna watch it and be like, "Oh,
yeah.
This idiot said they lost." Like, I'm not gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, I'm totally worried about my journalistic integrity when we just compared Peeps to Pau Gasol. All right.
It's a valid comparison.
I was gonna say that's not a bad comparison.
So yeah, on that note.
And like Pau Gasol, Peeps deliver at the right time. You know, Pau delivered in the playoffs. Peeps deliver during Easter. So.
Do they send all their tweets bilingually though?
Trilingually actually, but yeah, close enough.
They're Pepes. They're Pepes in some countries. Yeah. All right. Thanks again for joining us, guys. Gary, thanks for running the Twitter account tonight, and congratulations again on your winning streak, 3-0 for Gary.
That's right.
Is that line 1 or 2 on your resume?
That's just the whole resume. That's that's it.
Good stuff. Harrison, thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for having Sakura, guard over all of us tonight. That's much appreciated. And then thank you, Ryan, for nothing really. Like that's just.
It's the narrative crusher tonight.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, Anthony.